Hello, hello. How are you this evening? If you haven't had a chance to sign up for live text alerts before we do our live streams, please text the word live stream to 540-870-0726, and then you'll get notices. Except I told you guys for this one that I was not going to send a notice because I'm just going to be hanging out doing a live cookie cam. So I'm just going to be working on some bits and pieces. I've got so much stuff on my workstation here. I don't like for you to see it this messy normally. But I'm going to play with a few things tonight and just chat with you in case anybody has questions. Hey, Deborah. Hi, Shannon. How are you guys doing? Everybody have good Thanksgiving? I hope so. I hope so. Can you hear me okay? Say hello when you come on. Let me know where you're from or where you're watching from if you're off visiting family. Just going to make a few fondant bits and pieces. I'm not making a particular project. I've got several things that I'm working on. So say hello. Say hello. Say hello. Tell me where you're from. Chat with me. Tell me about your Thanksgiving. Did everybody have a good Thanksgiving? Jen was on earlier and she said, oh, good. Good. I'm glad you had a great Thanksgiving. I'm glad you can hear me. Hi, Nicole. How are you? Jen was on a little bit ago, and I just got to read in the chat field from the last live stream about the cookie retreat, the unplugged cookie retreat, that 450 dinners they served. So I bet she is whipped. Hey, Sharon. Sharon is watching from Huntington Beach. How in the world are you? So I was just telling everybody I'm going to work on a few bits and pieces and play. It's a little chilly in my cookie room, so I'm not sure how long I'm staying in here. I don't feel like turning the heat on to just have it on for a half hour and then bugging out of the room. So I'm going to do a few little things, and I thought if you guys just wanted to hang out while I was doing it, we could chat. I'm going to see. I've got some. I'll try to tell you what I've got as I'm working on it, but I'm not sure it's. Yes, so nice, Sharon. So nice. Hey, Camille, you got your box? I'm glad you got your box in. So I'm working on some stuff. I'm not going to give you all the details of what I'm doing. I just thought I'd chat with you while I'm working on this stuff, because it's for some upcoming projects. I got a big old sweatshirt on tonight. It's a little bit chilly. And I do have extra heat I could turn on in here and liven the joint right up, but I don't want to turn it on just to be in here for another 45 minutes or so because it just got chilly. I'm not really sure why it got chilly. All right, I have to turn around and look for a color real quick. Let's see. Oh yeah, we got some right here. Let's see what this looks like. Yeah, I was experimenting with it, but it's not really dark enough for what I want. So I'm going to switch back and pick a gel color real quick. I'm just playing with some new fondant molds. Oh, you guys, you're going to be so excited. A lot of stuff arrived today for the Valentine and Easter product boxes. It's so funny. I have to order this stuff so far in advance. And then when it shows up, like I might order it over 3 or 4 days as I decide final designs on cookies and things. But then when it shows up, it's like it all, 20 things show up in one day because they're starting to batch the stuff together. I don't know if that's going to be a little bit too much. Let me take some off. Oh, and if you guys hang around long enough, in a little bit, I'm going to be playing with something new that I have not done before. I'm kind of excited to try it. I'm going to be playing around with some flex frost sheets from Icing Images and using it in these lace mats. I'm going to do that tonight and see how it works for me. I'm kind of excited. I watched some videos today. I feel like I gave myself a little refresher course because I haven't done it since last Christmas for something that's coming up. I wanted to try this out. So I got a couple of different things out. I got the medallion one out, and I got this one that you use when you do like needlepoint, the needlepoint cookies. And I got this one out, which is supposed to be a burlap texture. I saw, it looks like all the regular Christmas kits, I was getting one notification after another today. So it looks like a lot of them got delivered. So what'd you guys do? Whew, got that color all over everything. I didn't mean to, but now it's all over my molds. Whoopsie. What'd you guys do for Thanksgiving? Anybody cook anything other than turkey or ham? Do you guys do something different for your Thanksgiving dinners? Oh, you got a candle mold. Oh, no. Really? Is it the same size? I want to know if it's the same size. I want to see it. I know you can't post a picture while we're live, but I would love to see it. So I've got gloves on because I'm mixing gel coloring into some white fondant. And I'm using a mold for something that it's not the design in particular that it was created for, but I'm using it to make something because I had it, it's like cookie cutter flip. I had the mold flipped the wrong way and I saw something and I thought, oh, that's exactly what I want. So let's try that. It's smaller. Oh, prime rib. One of my friends from church posted a picture last night and they had prime rib and it looked delicious. So how'd yours turn out? Was it perfect? I could go for that. What else is over there? What are you guys doing? Make sure you say hello. Tell me where you're watching from. Anybody convert any new cookie friends over Thanksgiving while you were hanging out with your family? That's when everybody's talking about what they're doing, what their new hobbies are, what they're starting to invest their time in. Let's leave that there. No, I think I still like this one the best of these little guys. Hey, Michelle, how are you? How was your Thanksgiving? Sally, you got your box. I saw that you liked it. So much stuff in there, right? So many goodies to work on so many different projects with. I don't know if you were on just a second ago, but we're already receiving the stuff for the Valentine and Easter boxes, which I'm psyched about because that will be like our 4th and 5th or 5th and 6th boxes that we've released. And there's still minimal duplicates. Like the little inexpensive stuff might be a duplicate, but there's still all kinds of new items in there. I have the box of gloves that I bought. I'm down to the... Oh, I hope it is too, Nicole. And I hope you guys like it. I really enjoyed putting that one together. Low-key Thanksgiving, 2 graduate students. Pumpkin pie, I think. How fun. Sharon, you had mashed potatoes, green beans, bacon, and garlic. Oh, that sounds good. Homemade pecan pies and pumpkin pie. That sounds awesome. Oh, and Michelle is decorated for Christmas. Look at you go, girl. No, I'm not decorated. I'm not doing anything outside until they come and pick up our leaves. Our town is so cool. They have a big truck that comes around and vacuums up the leaves. So as soon as the leaves leave, then my cool scarecrows have to leave and I'll switch over to my Christmas nutcrackers. But I think we determined that we're in the north part of town, so they don't pick up till the end of next week. Let me see if I can get this out of here without breaking it off. Oopsie, no, I don't like that. Hold on. Push that back in there. I want more detail in there, and it looked like I wasn't getting any. So I don't know if you who was on earlier or not, but I'm going to play with a new product called... You have that blue mat. That's a Sugar Veil mat. Yeah, it's for Sugar Veil. But we're going to use it with something different tonight, Sally, that I had great luck with last Christmas. And so I'm testing it out on a couple of different mats tonight. So hang out and just, even if you can't stay the whole time, make sure you catch the replay. Oh, so pretty. So pretty. And exactly what I wanted. Love it. Okay. Let's do this other one. Just to see what we like better. Oh, so pretty. Like that too. This is going to be a hard choice. Let's do this one. It's going to be a hard choice. I can tell already. You're remodeling into December. Is it hard because you've never not decorated? No, it's not modeling chocolate, Sally. The thing I'm going to experiment with in the molds tonight is called Flex Frost. It's basically, it's in the sugar sheet family. It's not a sugar sheet, but it's in the sugar sheet family, and I'll show you the label and everything as soon as I finish these fondant bits. I just want to give them a chance to start setting up so that I can maybe do a little dusting and painting on them in a little bit. But it's called Flex Frost. And so it's like a super quick, easy way to make lace and make it lace in the lace mats. Which one? Every time I see you using a new mat, news and new. Do you, this one? You like this one, Allison? This is a bird bath mat mold. Or did you mean the molds that I'm going to use? Sharon. Lady, look at you go with the ideas there. This is actually a springtime mold from last year that's a bird bath. Yeah, I like this one. But, you know, here's my recommendation to you guys, if you don't mind hearing my 2 cents worth. I love using fondant mats because I very much enjoy creating mixed medium cookies. They're kind of my jam. But my recommendation to you is, even if when you get the mat, you don't think you like it, make the pieces. Even if you just make them and crush them, make the pieces, because until you pop it out of the mold, you can't tell how detailed some of these things are. It's just not, you can't tell easily. So make them, because especially like little cherubs or the Christmas ones that have all these little faces and stuff, some of these, when you pop them out, like I had this one mat, you guys, that was beautiful and it looked like a crown, like to make a little princess crown. I popped it out of the mold and that thing had the most detailed swans on it that I've ever seen. Look how pretty that is. See all the detail on that? Let me lift that up so you can see it. Now you could do these out of fondant or modeling chocolate, no problem. I'm just playing with fondant tonight because it's cheaper to practice in, but look at the detail on that. Isn't that crazy? So I wanted this to start setting up. It's some stuff I'm going to be playing with. Let these, get them straightened out. I don't want them to start crusting and be bent, so I have to check them real quick. Right? Oh, how pretty. Really like that. It's hard to believe it's going to be Christmas in a few weeks, isn't it? Let's make this one. This is a perfect example. Do you see that pot right there in the middle? Like, it doesn't look like a pot I would like, but it's got so much detail. You okay, sweetheart? One of my puppies is sneezing tonight. She got into something out in the yard earlier, and she hasn't quite worked it all the way out. I can hear her. Let's see what this one looks like. I'll probably just squish it, but I've only ever made the other urn that I really like, this one. So I want to see what this one looks like tonight before we go on to the Flex Frost. So anyway, the Flex Frost is like the super easy, fast way where you don't have to do a lot of prep. You can comment all over the place. It doesn't matter, Sally. Oh, you know something else you guys could chat about there over there? Oh, you sent me a picture, Kat? I'll look. You guys could chat about any. Oh, see, now look how pretty that is. That is actually very pretty. Look at the detail. I didn't think it would be something I'd really enjoy. Let's see if we can get the camera to focus in. I'll bring it down a little. See it? That's so pretty. Look at that. I didn't think I'd like it, but I do actually kind of like that. You know, when you look at it, this next to what it comes out like, it doesn't, it's not what I thought it would look like. That's why I say always make them just in case. All right, so let's move that off to the side. Now, well, while we're in it, I need to mix in a little more color, but I'm going to attempt to out of this mold. And I just got gold Flex Frost sheets. Ooh, that one's way too hard. This must be the one. Let me see if I can soften this up. I got gold Flex Frost sheets and I got white. We're going to use white tonight because the white you can actually color with food gel. You can make it sparkly. Yay, sparkly. I may not save this video though, you guys, since it's just a live cookie cam and we're not doing an actual project. But I figured you guys might want to see what I was working on. I got some stuff I need to finish up this weekend. But I got to get in my last trip up to Skyline Drive before it either snows or ices over. And it's the last weekend that they're doing, that they're serving food at the lodges. I'll probably go up tomorrow. Because then we hunker down for the rest of the winter because frankly, it's just too cold to go anywhere. So who spent the most money? I don't know who spent the most money. But I did get some Black Friday deals. I spent some money with Sugar Art because I wanted that new rainbow diamond dust. Did you guys see that? Holly has a reel up on Instagram and on their Facebook page. Excuse me one sec. I got to grab this. I'll be right back in frame in just a second. I got some things from Diamond Dust, and they have a new, you guys, and I'll test it out for you in case you didn't get a chance to order it yet, but I ordered the that new pump that Ed and his brother designed. I ordered that because I want to try it out. I just am excited to see that because it just looked like it came out so fine. I don't know if it's any better than the traditional pump, but Holly said it was fabulous in her reel. So I thought, well, let's give this a try. That'll be a fun item. And I wanted that rainbow diamond dust because it's got all the hues in it. I figured springtime's coming and I think that would be beautiful. And frankly, I could absolutely see that on being used on the water and on beach cookies and stuff like that. So I was like, oh yeah, we should get that. Now look at that. Isn't that fun? It actually has a little, push it back in there, see if I can get it even better. It looks like it has a little face on it, like a little lion. I would not have guessed that from what it looks like in the mat. Let's see what that comes out like. I got a couple other things from them, and then I've tried 4 times today to get my bees baked art order. Oh yeah, that's really pretty. It does look like it has a little cherub face. Here, take a look at that. Can you see it? Cool. I had no idea that's what that looked like, so I'm glad I made that one, even if it's just to see. And I got, what else? What else did you guys order today? I did take advantage of, it wasn't on sale, but I did get that holiday Christmas class from Timbo. There's some stuff in his designs for the holiday workshop that I haven't made before. Plus, I just like to support him because I like to follow him. Yeah, you have that. The cherub's really cool, right? That's what I mean. When you get these in, the first thing you need to do before you file them away or get them organized or labeled and in a container, you should take the time to make it. I got this mold in last year, but it arrived late for what I ordered it for, so I never made them. So then I thought, oh, you know what? I'm going to make them tonight because I really need to see exactly what that looks like. Oh, and I like this one too. Look, this is like an outdoor planter that I have. Isn't that cute? You see that? So cute. And look, if you did that with modeling chocolate, ooh, that'd be so good. But I ordered from somebody else too. I just don't have the thing in front of me. I don't know who it was though. I can't remember. Oh man. All right, I got to crush this little guy. He's the least likely. He's the one I'll least likely keep and use for any of the projects. So what did you guys get? I didn't order from Cookie Counters because I didn't need anything, but they look like they had a pretty good sale today. And I had already bought my my meringue powder, my Jeannie's Dream meringue powder. I'd already bought that last week when they said there was going to be a shortage. So I didn't need that. I wasn't willing to take the risk to wait till Black Friday. Anybody get a Cricut today? Had good prices on Cricuts, on Air 2s, on Cricut Maker 3s at Michael's. They had good prices. Hey, Kathy. They had all kinds of stuff. Let's see. I'll tell you what, too, you guys. I am almost to the bottom. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get this one out of here, though. It has such little delicate parts. And I don't have time to wait for it to set up. But you guys okay? Hey. I don't know. I didn't put any Tylos in any of this because I didn't want it to set up too fast. Let me see if I can get it out by doing this and suction it out. Kathy, Amazon, but I don't even remember what I was looking for when I ordered it. I got it last Christmas and it came late, so I didn't get to use it. Yeah, I thought those handles might be a problem. I thought it might be hard to get that out. So let me see what the rest of it looks like. Probably you could just search. Oh, it would be pretty though. Look, it's pretty. It's not what I want for this project, but look how pretty it would be if I took my time. Let's see what these medallions are here too. I think these are all little flower bits. It's cute, right? It's not labeled for anybody though, but I know it came from Amazon because it's a white one, like a white or gray mold. That's what most of my Amazon molds look like. Let's see what this flower looks like. The only problem with these is they're so thick. It's hard to pop stuff out of them. But yeah, it's flowers. You see the flower? You see that? Okay. Well, I think that's enough. I'm going to make one more flower. I'm going to make a flower pot, like terracotta flower pot. Let's see. Now, when your remodel's done, you can just make yourself a little schedule and go through all your stencils. And then one week you can go through all your fondant molds. You're going to have so much fun. So I'll show it to you just so you can see it. And it came off Amazon, but it's not labeled. It doesn't have any imprint or trademark or anything on it. I'd search under flower pots, mold, flower pot, fondant mold, or urns, URNS, urn flower molds. But I got it last year. Love it. So cute. All right. So I think that's all. Let me see if we like this double rim pot better. This one also has some texture. And this one's hot pink, whoever makes the hot pink mats, but it's not labeled either, and it's from last year. But hang with me if you're on the cam. Just leave your feed going. We're going to work on some lace mats using Flex Frost in a minute. We're just going to play. And I'm not promising you I'm going to be any good at it because I haven't done it in a year, but I want to mix some. Oh, I like that. Look at that, you guys. A double rim at the top plus texture. Can you see it? I'm going to go ahead and adjust my camera and zoom in a little bit before we start with this other. See that? I really like that. Really like that one. Let me just make a little leaf real quick since I have some extra. This color's fine to make it in because I can gold leaf it for a flower arrangement. Oh yeah, that's cute. Look at all the dimension on that. Isn't that pretty? So, hey Priscilla. So what else did you get today? I didn't get any cookie cutters. Not that I needed any, okay? I'm just saying I did not buy any. I was going to check through the metal and Clark's again. Really like working with metal cutters, and I need some things for the upcoming cookie retreat, which, by the way, if you missed it earlier, I did a live stream and explained all about the cookie retreat, so you can watch that in the replay. It is fondant with a terracotta color, gel color that I colored it with. And I'm just playing. These aren't for a particular project. I'm just playing and using up what I made a little bit ago. Tonight's not for a specific tutorial. I just figured I'm going to be in here for a while and you guys could keep me company, or I could keep you company. And what we're going to do in just a few minutes is I'm going to make another fondant piece first. So I got to dye some green. I'm going to do this first. Only because I don't want to waste a pair of gloves. That's what I was telling you guys earlier. I'm now, you see how big they are? So when you couldn't get gloves when the pandemic first started, we would just, when we had to restock, I just get whatever size they had. So these are large and they don't fit well. So I brought them home to use them because in the cookie studio at my house, the only thing I really do with them is, color fondant or do icing or whatever. So I just brought the ones that are not conducive home. All right. That feels, I must have left the bag partially undone on my fondant because it's a little, it's a little dry. Yeah, that'll be good. I'm just going to use 2 shades of green here for what I'm about to, excuse me, practice with. I got a new mold from Michael's last week. I think I got it. I think I got it last week. I will be glad when all the leaves are down in my area. So I don't do very well with my allergies when we've got all that dust outside. Okay, so you got Timbo. You got some what'd you get from Cookie Countess, Sharon? What'd you get from there? Anybody get any good Cookie Countess deals? April posted a lot of really cool stuff in the group today. Like there was some cool packaging stuff on there. I don't need any of it. You know what I do need though, you guys, if you know where to get it? Who has, hey Laura. Yeah, it's really bad right now. It started bothering me yesterday. I was fine till yesterday, but yesterday it's like all the last of everything came off the trees in the neighborhood and it's just like a dust storm outside. Oh, you're in Florida? Yeah, that's even worse because if I remember correctly, the palm trees are getting all those little pods on them. I used to be so allergic to those. What was I asking you guys? Oh, I need some bags that say coal on them. Bag of coal. Anybody find any of those today? I need some bags of coal to package some brownie coal. Oh my gosh, you guys, yesterday after dinner. Hey Shayna, how are you? I'm just playing this, just a live cookie cam, no particular project, just making some stuff and checking out some new fondant molds that I got after dinner yesterday. I was called myself going to take a nap, which you guys know that doesn't go over very well. I don't really take naps that great. Oh, look what I got myself. Well, my husband got it for me for Christmas, but I ordered it. It's not an Apple Watch. It's a just a fitness watch, but it does your steps, does your oxygen level, does blood pressure, something else. I don't know. Anyway, I was playing. Oh, it does when you sleep. So I can probably tell you guys why I'm so tired all the time. According to my watch, my fitness watch that I got, I only had deep sleep for Dollar Tree has coal bags for real. See if you can find them online and post a picture. That's cool. I had no idea to even look there. That's a great idea. I just need a couple to fancy up. I have tags and everything. I just need a couple more bags. And the place I got them from last year is not in business anymore. What was I telling you? Oh, so according to my watch, I actually had sleep time of 8 hours last night, but only an hour of it was deep sleep. The rest of it is what the watch called light sleep. Not really sure what that meant because I thought I slept good all night, but apparently not. Ah, Charlotte's so cool. Listen, when those got picked up on Tuesday, I was like, thank you, Lord. I always feel better when the postman picks them up and they're officially out of my hands and in the postal system, because usually they're very quick. Now, normally, you guys, this wouldn't take this long, but I'm using some fondant that was partially dry that I had to really work with. So it's not as soft as normal fondant. You guys watch the video from earlier too if you're interested in the Cookie Snack Attack cookie retreat that's happening next year in May. I did a whole video because the room code is going to be active tomorrow. So I'll be posting it in the Cookie Snack Attack group for those of you who want to attend the retreat. You can go ahead and get your registered for just your room. That's all you can do so far. We're spacing out because it's the holidays and Christmas and Thanksgiving. I'm spacing everything out for y'all so it's not everything required at one time. And I know some of you are going to CookieCon. You need to work that in your budget. So the registration that comes to me for Cookie Snack Attack, that's not going to happen until right after the first of the year. That way you guys can still do all your CookieCon stuff and you take care of your room so you get the style of room that you want. So excited. I'm going to have one of the larger, it's not a cabin, but it's one of the larger rooms up there. I was able to get that. So we should be able to have a mixer in my room the first night. We have a living room and a fireplace and a nice view. So if you come in early the night before we actually are going to go to Skyline Drive as an extra activity. I don't see why not. A lot of the cutters that we're going to use at the retreat should be available because a lot of them I'm trying to use cutters from existing places. Right? I mean, some of them will be from, this is going to be terrible to get out of here. This is what I was afraid of if I didn't use the Tylos. Okay, let me just do it this way and see how much I can get out unbroken. I knew it was going to stick because I put a lot of food gel in it. and I didn't dust the mold, and it's a new mold. But I'm just playing tonight, so yeah, I thought that might happen. All right, yep, that's not good. I'm going to have to pull it out and dust it. That one green's just a little too wet, so it's sticking in there. I think this is a laurel vine. Oh yeah, you can stay up there. Even if you can't come to the event. Skyland and Big Meadows are lodges. They're open. I think they reopen in March, and they usually stay open till the week of Thanksgiving. So this is their closing up for the season weekend, because then it starts getting snowy and icy up there, and not enough people come, you know, to make it worth them being open all winter. It's beautiful, though. We drive up there and drive across the drive sometimes just because it's so pretty, and you get all the water coming off the rocks on the side of the mountain. And it's really quite beautiful. Let me see if I can get my fancy duster brush out of here. It's really beautiful when all the water's coming off the rocks. You don't really realize how much comes down off the mountain all the time. But then you go up there and it's frozen on the rock walls on the side of the road. It's beautiful pictures. It's really pretty up there. Hey, Allison, are you still on here? How did your event go with the dog pictures? I meant to text you. If you're still on here, tell me how that went. I meant to text you after that was over and see how it went. All right, this is just a little bit of Tylose powder, just because I want this to come out really easy. The Blue Ridge are beautiful. It's an old mountain range, so everything's rolling. It's not like steep cliffs and 10,000 foot in the air. Our highest point is like 3,700 square feet above sea level. All right, so let's see. Let's see what happens. So I just have this little tub of Tylose powder, which I would not use on a cookie because it will make the cookie really hard. I would have dusted this normally with powdered sugar. I would have normally done that, or with cornstarch, because it wouldn't make it as hard. But I just want to see what this comes out of this mold like. It's a lot of leaves. I didn't know if, see, I bought this mold and I thought, you know what? It's really going to be a problem. There's so many little pieces, and I don't want if I use it with modeling chocolate, there's no real good way to stiffen up the pieces without losing what's nice about having the soft modeling chocolate. And there's a lot of little detail areas, so I'm not sure if we're going to get this out or not. Yes, because it looks like rainbows on that. We have a lot of slate rock in Virginia in the mountains, and it breaks like on lines, so it's big flat pieces of rock. So pretty up there. All right, so we're not going to go all the way down the mold. We're just going to do this top section just so I can see, because it was sticking in here pretty bad because I didn't dust it. Just trying not to have to do any of that, but oh, this is going to come out easier. It's already looking like it's going to pop out easier. So I'm just squeezing the mold and trying to flexing it rather, not squeezing it. Yeah, it's coming out easier, much easier after dusting it. Oh yeah, see, and it's pretty. I don't know if it's worth all that, and I definitely don't want to make, it almost looks like, what herb does that look like? Is that what basil looks like? I'm not sure. It's pretty though. Looks pretty. All right, we're going to put that right there. Okay, now we're going to get on to, I'm going to make a couple leaves because I have some extra green. And then we're going to get on to our experiment with the Flex Frost. Now, I've watched several tutorials on using the Flex Frost, okay? But this is just a live cookie cam where you can watch me experiment with things. So don't do it unless it works, because none of the Flex Frost sheets are cheap enough to be playing around with, just going willy-nilly. And I got to use a brand new sheet because I have no scraps left. So let me do the experimenting, and then you guys come back at it later. And make sure, if you do use Flex Frost sugar sheets, pretty, look at all that detail on that mold, so pretty. Save your scraps. Keep a Ziploc bag handy after every project and save your scraps, because you can make edible glue. You can make, you can use it to make lace for your lace mats instead of using the like sugar veil in it. That's specific product that goes in it. These sheets have a lot of uses, so don't throw the scraps away. You can color it. You're supposed to be able to color it. I haven't colored it yet, but we're going to do that together in just a minute. Okay, so if you don't ever have nights like this in your cookie room, this is something you need to build time into your schedule for, because you will discover the coolest things when you're just fooling around. Color combinations, new tricks to get things out of molds. Just, you know, you just find cool new stuff that you wouldn't have expected normally. Let's do one of these. I don't have any of these little rose leaves. This is a neat mold because you can put the wires in it. Like if you want to use it to make formed leaves, you could put the Flex Frost sheets in here and scrape it like we're about to do on the lace mats. I'm not going to do that tonight because I don't need that in here, and I have 3 mats I really want to try. And then I got some other new stuff in, you guys, from, yeah, I've used the Paper Potion Harriet. It works great, especially on that DD wafer paper, that double density from Icing Images. That is a nice thick wafer paper. Look at the detail. You see that? A little bit of luster dust or a little bit of Everclear with a luster dust and paint on that. It's beautiful. I think I have enough to make one more tip. Then I'll just let all this set up. Have to come back to it tomorrow, but then I can get these gloves off and I won't have wasted a pair. I'll put that back in there. So has anybody started the marathon of Christmas movies yet? You know, we're allowed because it's the day after Thanksgiving. I like the Paper Potion. It works good. It's vanilla flavored, has a great scent. Okay, now gloves off. Woohoo! It's good. That way we don't waste anything. I was going to do some wafer paper stuff tonight too for you guys, but I think I'll wait and do that tomorrow. Oh, 2 things. Bees Baked Art has these cool sheets that are from Intricate Edibles. So I'm going to be trying this one that looks like wood grain. You're supposed to be able to use reuse each of these sheets 3 or 4 times. So I'm going to see if that's true. Yeah, you can, and any of this stuff that you make up, you can put it in an airtight container once it's fully dry, and you can use it later. You started, Shayna, really Christmas movies at the beginning of November? That's fun. All right, so tonight, guys, for the Flex Frost, let me slide this stuff out of the way. I don't want to mess anything up, though, because I want to see what it looks like tomorrow. We're going to use this Sugar Veil lace mat. It has a lot of, this is a nice mat. Be careful when you buy the knockoff mats, because some of them aren't deep enough and some of them don't have enough room for what we're about to do, okay? This is definitely different than a medallion fondant mold. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not as deep. It's got nice wide crevices to make the lace in, but it's not as deep, so it's going to dry overnight. So this is the Medallions mat. Let me hold it up there. There you go. Medallion. See it? Medallions from sugarveil.com over here on the right. So we're going to do this one tonight. We're going to do, this is from a huge mat that people typically use for cakes, but I'll be using it for cookies. And it's just basically like, it's a version of that cross stitch mat that's out. So I'm going to just use this little piece to make some stuff tonight. And this is from Marvelous Molds. I don't know if it's going to work on here because it's really fine, but this is their burlap texture mat. You guys see it? So this is a much bigger one. And then we've got this little fine one. And then I've got these medallions. So what I saw was there's lots of different ways to do this. So you're not locked into any one thing, but this product is Flex Frost edible fabric sheets and instant lace. And it's from Icing Images. They do have a website. You can order online, icingimages.com. I think they had some sales today, but I don't remember because I had just stocked up, so I wasn't really paying attention. This is their phone number. If you're coming to the Unplugged Cookie Retreat, she will be there and will be showing us how to use some of her products and then hopefully doing a demo for us using these with a Cricut machine for anybody that's interested in learning how to do that. So we're going to use this. It says Flex Frost edible fabric sheets are the most flexible and durable sheets on the market and really do flow like actual fabric. They have the ability to quickly and easily make edible lace, which adheres simply to all mediums with a little bit of water. And we're going to peel it off, peel some of it off the backing. We're not going to make a whole sheet. And leaf mold is from last year from Amazon, and I just searched leaf mold on Amazon when I found it. They may not make it anymore, but it has a rose leaf and it has an oak leaf. And this says dip it in room temperature water, but since they put this out, I've seen several people where they mix it in a bowl. And we're going to spread it in the crevices, okay? So we're going to experiment. I have no idea if I'm going to be any good at this or not because this is not how I did it the last time. But I don't have any scraps, so I'm using a full sheet. This is a 10-pack. And you'll have to look on their website to see how much it costs because I don't remember. But see, it just peels off. You see that? So I'm just going to peel. I'm going to make lace with about a third of the sheet. And I'm going to seal it back up because I don't want to dry out everything else that's in the packet. Push the air out. Whoops. Sorry about that. Hope that didn't like squeal or anything. All right. So we're going to just break this into a bunch of pieces. Let's put this over here. They also have the gold in stock, or they did when I ordered mine. They have the gold shimmer sheets. And you see what it means when it says it moves like fabric? Do you look how easy that is, right? I know, Sally, me too. And I did use it once last year, but not for this. So look, you can actually cut this out if you're a crafter, so you know what the shape of bows look. Look at that ruffle I just made. You could do beautiful wedding dress cookies with this, and it tastes pretty good. It's vanilla. And it's, let's see, water, cornstarch, corn syrup, cellulose, corn syrup solids. And it tastes like a sugar sheet. It tastes like vanilla. It definitely dissolves right away. It's very soft. So it would be less intrusive on a cookie, I think, even than like fondant or modeling chocolate, right? Because it's so thin. But all the stuff you can do with this. You can make bows out of it, like 3-dimensional bows. But we're going to make lace. We're going to use it to make lace. So I'm just doing small sheets because what I read and what I watched on videos was that people found that it dissolved faster if it was in small bits and pieces. It dissolved faster then you didn't have as much trouble with clumps. So don't forget, if you're going to be at the retreat, she's going to be visiting us and showing us how to use some of these projects. We're using some of these mediums on our cookie retreat cookies. So yesterday, I took a little bit of time and finished baking up all of the cookies that I need for both of our cookie classes. And you know what? I forgot to make an extra of I got to make another cookie tomorrow. I forgot to make an extra of our class cookie for Saturday, but I made all the cookies for the December 11th class, and I made all the cookies for Tutorial Tuesday, and I made cookies for the background cookies for CookieCon. So this is Flex Frost Edible Fabric Sheet and Instant Lace from Icing Images in Winchester, Virginia. I'm excited to try this. So maybe I'm not supposed to be making it this small, but I'm definitely... I don't think you have to, Sally. I think you can dip the whole sheet. If you're doing a big mat, I think you can dip the whole sheet, lay it on the mat, and start scraping. But what I read about that today, and 2 of the YouTube videos that I watched said that you have to really get the water off the sheet before you lay it on the big mat, like on the 8.5 by 11 sheet when you dip it, because the water just really adheres to it and it's almost too mushy. Takes a lot longer to make it dry if you do it that way, like wet the sheet and lay it on the mat and then scrape. So the videos that I watched today had people using their scrap pieces. No, I'm okay. Does my voice sound bad? Because I just hit that mic a minute ago. The thing I saw today was that you can make the paste easier, and then you can let it dry out again. So even if you don't use it all, you can still use it later. But they said to let it dry out, because when whatever you don't use, to let it dry out, because if you leave it with the water in it and put it in the fridge, it can get mold. So even if you don't use everything, just spread it out on a piece of parchment, let it dry, and then pop it back into a Ziploc. Maybe it's my allergies, Carol, because I was just telling everybody a little bit ago, the leaves have kind of kicked my butt the last 2 days. When the last of the leaves came off the trees, my allergies just went nutso. So I've been taking some Benadryl today. Maybe I'm on a Benadryl low. Maybe. I don't actually feel tired. I thought I slept good last night, but then my watch told me I did not. All right, so I'm going to do this really easy. This is 1/3 of a full-size sheet. This is my spray bottle that I add when I'm mixing icing and I need to go from thick to flood. So I'm just going to spray it. They said go in small increments. I'm just going to use my little spatula, but you can see already, can you guys see it? It's already dissolving, but you just make a little paste. You see it on the spatula? I might need more water. I'm really being conservative, but it's already dissolving. So this is kind of like the fast and easy way to make edible lace, or at least I hope it turns out to be the fast and easy way, because it's something I want to work with. Certainly sticky Benadryl. I'm probably on a Benadryl. I don't feel tired though. All right, I think we need a little more. But do you see how quick it's soaking in because we broke it into the small pieces? So a big sheet, they said it takes longer to break it down, and then it's harder to scrape. So this way we'll just, and maybe I don't have enough in here, but I was trying to be conservative because I didn't know how much it would actually make. But yeah, it's breaking down pretty good. It's hard for me to swap to use something like this because it's so easy for me to pick up modeling chocolate or fondant and go to town. You know what I mean? but those two mediums will not work for what I need this for. And I definitely didn't want to go through what I went through last year to make edible lace. Let's see what happens, but it's making a nice little paste. It's just, I think definitely they're right. You got to go small increments on the water until you get where it's a spreadable paste and not this sticky clumps. You see it? I think for sure that's key. But it is breaking down. And also both of the videos said it really didn't make any difference whether it was room temperature or hot water, that it didn't affect how fast it broke down. Now, normally, you guys, the allergy thing I'm talking to you about, our weather is very behind this year. What I'm having right now with the last of the leaves coming down, this really should have happened by like the 10th of October, and it's the 26th of November. It's just really a fluke year. Which is why I said earlier, another reason I said in our video for the cookie retreat that's going to be up on Skyline Drive in May to bring layers, because that means it could be cold a little longer up there than what it would normally be. I miss any questions? I think I'm okay. Ooh. Carol, if you find that, I would love to see what it looks like when you get it done. I haven't seen that yet, but that sounds really cool. Oh, yeah. See, it's really, yeah. So go in low quantities of water at a time, but definitely keep adding water until you get the spreadable substance and your clumps are broken down, because it definitely, you can tell like right when it's, I think one more and we'll be good to go. And I think probably if I was going to do this again, I'd go ahead and break down a whole sheet and just do it all at once, because I don't think this is going to make enough for what I wanted to do. And you could just have a whole sheet prepped or a whole sheet full of scraps. They said this makes really good edible glue too, you guys, if you save the scraps. That it makes good edible glue. And you can color it. And in ours, we're going to throw in a little diamond dust while we're experimenting. We're going to throw in some diamond dust. But I got to get these pieces broken down because they're just too thick. But the paste part is, I think, doing good. I think it's doing really well. So I did a video earlier this evening about the sugar cookie unplugged retreats. If you guys want to watch that, the rooms will be available tomorrow to start making reservations, because the code will be active as of tomorrow. Now, for sure, you guys, you got to have a little bit of patience with this, because there's no point rushing it. Because see, like that big clump, that's never going to go down in the mat. So you got to have a little patience and work it out like you do when you are learning how to make your icing consistencies. Hopefully holding it like this, it seems to give you a good camera view. Yeah, it's nice and pasty though. Look at that. Now, let me think about what I was going to use this for to see. I think I need to put a little gold in it. I'm going to put a little gold. This is just from Michael's. No, yeah, Michael's. Wilton. It's Wilton. So you can probably get it at Walmart too. But I'm going to put in some gold luster dust. Okay. And see what it does. It's supposed to make it sparkly. It looks sparkly. It's coloring it for sure. So you definitely can color it. I'm not sure that's enough though. So you know what we're going to do, because that was like almost a third of that little container, and that stuff's kind of pricey. So here's what we're going to do. We are going to add a little bit of ivory gel, mix thoroughly. Yeah, let's do some ivory. Yeah. Save all your scraps, even your colored scraps. Like if you've printed out sugar sheets or printed out on the fabric. All right, so we're going to mix a little ivory just because I don't want it to be bright white. Then we're going to put it in the mat, do our scraping, and then we're going to spray with some diamond dust. Because it just seems kind of wasteful to me. Although on the YouTube videos they did it. Seems kind of wasteful to me with how much that stuff costs to be mixing it in to the entire area of the item, right? Whereas if I can spray it on the outside, but maybe that's not the side. Maybe if you might be using the underside of stuff. So I don't know. Maybe you need to spray it on the mat first. So how about we do both? You want to do both while I'm experimenting? I think I've got it broken down, but boy, you do really have to, you got to work with it so you don't end up with all those clumps. Love this stuff though. I do like it. It's a nice consistency, about like if you made the Sugar Veil product, about what that would look like. So that's, if you haven't made that before, watch a video so you know what consistency you're going for. So let's do two things. I do with paper towels. I'm just going to shield a little bit of stuff. If it was daylight and warmer, I'd go outside and do this just to keep from having to clean up. So here's what we're going to do on this one to start with. We're going to spray some dust down in the mold. Okay, this is just gold diamond dust. Just because we're experimenting. I didn't see this on a video. I just think probably this will work. All right, now let's put some of this in here. You're supposed to be able to put it right on. Work it down, press it down in the mat. See those big sheets that didn't dissolve? So I'm going to pull them off to the side because they're still, I can still reconstitute them. But we're going to use all this thin stuff and get a nice base in the mat. And I'm just pulling it off the mold and putting it back in the bowl. Also, I'm doing something that they didn't recommend, but I don't want to get something else dirty tonight. They said it was best if you didn't use silicone to do your scraping. It was better if you used like something hard like this to do your scraping, so you got a nice even line across the mold. So I'm using the more firm part of my spatula to do this. So I'm just going back for another coat. This mat's really nice. I really like this mat. All right, now I think I wanted to go ahead and do this one too. So we'll do both of these. That one, remember we sprayed the diamond dust in the bottom. Yeah, that's why we're doing it both ways, Allison, because I don't know what it's going to look like when you pull it out. I don't know if it looks the same on both sides or not. So we're experimenting. So the top one, we put the diamond dust in first, and this one we're going to spray the diamond dust on top. Although it's flat on the bottom of the mat, it's flat. There's no texture there, and it's flat where I'm scraping it. So they might be exactly the same, but I think since we're in it, we should test it. Since you're not having to do it, I should test it, right? That way you'll know. But look how pretty that is. Isn't that beautiful? And I didn't have to go through the 10 instructions on the Sugar Veil. I mean, I'm sure if you need to make this stuff in huge quantities, you need to make it the other way. But I just need a couple little things to play with for a design I'm working on. So it's not, to me, I don't want to spend all that time and wait a whole day and all of that for what I'm going to be using this for. But I'm sure that cake people need it in bulk, right? If they're doing a big cake with this stuff. Even when poor Penny Lane is sneezing her little head off. She played outside for a little bit today, which I thought was okay because it warmed up. I thought she'd be fine out there, but I think she has little puppy allergies too. All right, so see how shiny this one is on the top? I sprayed that one with the top. That one sprayed down in the mold. So we're going to see if it comes out any different. And I'm going to go ahead and do these other two medallions just because I have so much of this. And then we're going to do little pieces in the other mats. I'm going to see if I can get these big clumps to dissolve a little bit more though. Let's see. And they even showed how to make like sprinkles or confetti sprinkles with this stuff today, using your scrap pieces on the printed ones. That was pretty handy. Oh yeah, this is breaking down since it sat in the bowl for that little bit. So you have to be prepared to let it sit a little bit. And then mush it. All right. Let's do this. And take the big pieces back off into the bowl. And get some more of the little slimy pieces. Okay, and then get a good clean scrape because you don't want to film in all those little areas, right? You need a nice clean, oops, let's take that out of there. We don't want those big pieces on there. Grab a little bit more of the thin stuff, make sure it's nice and thick. Now, someone did comment earlier today that not all lace mats are created equal, which we know because some of them are truly made for lace mats and some of them are knockoffs. They have different quality levels, even on the ones that are actually made for lace mats. But they did comment that some mats are so deep and they're big mats, so they're being used for a big volume area. They said that you might need to do one coat and let it dry. And then before you remove the lace from the mat, if it's a really deep mat, that you might need to come back and do a whole second coat and let that dry again as well. I don't think any of mine are that deep that I would need to do that. I think all of mine are thinner. Oops. But I could see that you might need to, on some of the ones I've seen before, you might need to make them deeper. All right, let's get that off there. Put some of the little bit of goop there. And it seems to, I mean, you can see I've had plenty of time to work with it. I don't feel rushed like I would if it was fondant with Tylose powder in it, right? It's kind of relaxing, actually, you guys. Oh, yeah, I got a butterfly mold in too. I want to try that. The reason I wanted to give this a try is at CookieCon, I took Carmen's class. Did any of you take Carmen's class? And one of the dolls, the doll that we did, I don't remember the name of the cookie, but it was a portrait doll, a large cookie. She had a fancy lace headband, the portrait thing that we did, and she had lace bunched up at the bottom for her collar, and it was very pretty. And I thought, oh, wouldn't this be pretty for baptism cookies or communion cookies or confirmation cookies for the kids? Wouldn't this be pretty to do something like that? So, and I've been talking with Debbie about some other things to use for the cookie retreat. So I wanted to try this. Okay, now I'm not going to lift it. I think it looks really good. I do want to put a different color diamond dust on one of these just to see. So when we pull it out, we can really compare, right? But let's just see. Let's see what this does. And I think probably, let's do this one. I'm not sure if this is the best way to do this. I just don't have a pump for that color yet. It's a new color. Okay, also not sure if this is the best way to do it. Yeah, I watched all those too, Lavelle, but then the newest ones say that dissolving it in the bowl and making the paste is easier, that you get more control because you can work the clumps out. So I could see it. I did it the other way last year at Christmas, but this feels like it's working great. So what I'm doing, you guys, I just use the duster part from the Diamond Dust, a new Diamond Dust, because I don't have the sprayer. So I just dumped a little on here, and I'm just patting it into the mat. Because I want to see if I did this like with a luster dust or something, I want to see what it would actually do tomorrow when it comes out of the mat. Is it going to be shiny? Like, what's it going to look like? This is what experiment nights are all about. Is it going to be shiny, or is it just going to look colored? You know what I mean? Like I added a color to it. All right, so let's get these last couple of clumps. This one, we'll check it out tomorrow, and I'll post pictures or come on live with it. But remember, I'm going to have my last holiday day with my husband tomorrow. We're going to hopefully go up on Skyline and have dinner one last time before they close up for the season. Have a date afternoon instead of a date night, because I don't like driving on the mountain at night. He doesn't care, but it's my car. I like to drive my little car. Okay, so Deborah, we're doing 3 things. This one, we've sprayed dust because we just wanted to see what would happen. This one, we sprayed dust in the mold before I spread the Flex Frost sheet in here. Okay, that was that. That's in the mold, and then just Flex Frost. This one, I put the Flex Frost in, did a good scraping, and then I sprayed it with a gold luster dust. This one's luster dust. And then this one has nothing, so I can compare the 2 sides when it comes out. And then this one, I filled the mold, scraped it. Then I just used the little shaker thing of Diamond Dust because it wasn't in a pump. Normally I would have it in a pump, right? So it would spread easy, like I did this one. But I did the shaker dust and just shook it on top. And so then I just kind of tapped it in. So we've got four samples going here, just because I want to see what it's going to do. I want to see which one is going to work best for what I really want this for. The project that I'm really making this for. Yeah, I think one more squirt, and then we'll be good. Seems to be dissolving really well. And remember, I said I used 1/3 of a sheet because I didn't have any scraps. I've already used up all my scraps. The only thing I would do is if you don't have any scraps because you haven't used it before and you order this in, I definitely would have spent the time and I would have done a whole sheet, because you can always let whatever's left over dry out, but I'm going to be running thin on what I have left. Oh, did you find the fishnet pattern? You can dust it after it dries for sure. You could do luster dust or the Diamond Dust. You could buff it. Brilliant Sparkle would look pretty on this for sure. But I think I got all the big pieces out now. I think they're all dissolved. So I guess that's what they were talking about today. The most recent video from Icing Images on this, they said that they felt like they had more control by doing this because they could do what I'm doing and make sure those last little pieces were busted up. I mean, I think you can do it either way, whatever works better. I think for cake people needing to make big quantities of this on a big full-size cake lace mat, I think probably I'd still go the route of dipping the sheet and laying it on and then smushing it in. I think I'd probably still do that because you're trying to do a big volume area. Now for me with this is fine because I'm just doing these little samples, these little experiments. But if I were doing the other, and remember I said this one, I don't know if it's going to work or not because it's actually, Yes, it's so nice, Carol, to be a short drive. It's 30 minutes, and then we're going up the mountain. So this is an embossing mat. I don't know if it's going to work on this one, but we're going to test it. This is an embossing mat from Marvelous Molds that I just got in. Where did I order it from? Because I didn't order direct from Marvelous Molds. It came off somebody. I think it came from, did it come from Bee's Baked Art? Last week I ordered it because it had this cool texture. And I have, this is just step one of what I want this cool texture for. Huh, pretty neat. I mean, it's taking it and it's connected, but this is just a basic burlap. Have you figured out what I want this for? What I might be trying to make actual burlap lace for? You can guess. I don't have to answer. I do really like this, and I really I like coloring it. The coloring it is nice because I can actually see which parts are dissolved and not dissolved. Yeah, it's a burlap. It's to make burlap, but any guesses on what I might be working on that for? Why would I need a burlap texture edible lace? I hope this works because on the mat, it's super pretty. I mean, really, really pretty. And I'm just working more into the mat. And don't forget, you guys, I'm using my spatula because I don't want to clean up a bunch of stuff and it's just an experiment night. But remember, on the videos today, they said better to use a firm scraper than these silicone ones because the silicone kind of digs down in and makes little gaps in your, because it's more flexible, it kind of digs in there and makes gaps, or could make gaps if you have a large open area. I don't think it's affecting this at all because it's burlap. So it's got a lot of little squares holding it up. Good guesses, guys. None of those are right, but they're very good guesses, and this would be great to do that with. So now what I'm doing is I'm just making sure I got really good coverage. So I'm really hoping this comes off of here good. All right, so that was mat number 2. Let me move this one. That's the burlap. This is the medallions. And then remember I said this is a piece, this is really deep though. So this might be the kind of mat that they're talking about being deep that you might have to do multiple coats. We'll see. I'm going to try to keep it in one little area because I don't need that big of a piece. This is a much bigger square. I can't remember what the name on this mat was, but honestly, it looks just like the burlap mat. It wasn't called burlap. This was the one that you make pieces so you can make needlepoint cookies. You use this as the background and then do a needlepoint design. But it's like the squares are about 4 times the thickness and height of that little mat that I just did. But tomorrow we shall see about that. We shall see about how all this works. For some reason, all day long, I thought tomorrow was going to be Sunday. I was really stressing out because I had some stuff I needed to get done by Friday, and all day I was thinking it was already Saturday, and I was even further behind. But not so bad. So, and look, none left in here. I mean, it came right out nice. I am going to spray this one too, though. I'm going to spray this because I just really hope that it gets the sparkle. And if it does, if I make a bow with this, then I'll have the diamond dust on one side. And what I'll do is before I make the bow, I'll flip it over and I will buff it with some shiny luster dust shimmer or something on the other side. You know, the part that's in the mold right now drying. And then tomorrow we will also, hopefully I won't sneeze. Tomorrow after we check this out, remember we sprayed in the bottom on this one? When we pull it out, if it's sparkly, then we'll know if we need to spray the mat first, put the sugar sheet in, and then put the, then spray again. So I'm going to spray this. I'm just using gold. This is just gold. This is gold luster dust that I'm spraying. on here. I just like how it looked in that other mold, so we're using this one. But I think the pump is clogged. Oh yeah, it was clogged. And then look at that big burst that came out. Right? How are you guys doing? Is everybody okay? I have a cookie cutter with the ball. That would work. Cookie cutter with the ball. Carol, what cookie cutter and ball, hun? All right. I feel like that's probably good. I forgot to put a paper towel down, so now it's flying everywhere, but you get the drift. All right. So here's our experiments. I'm going to pull this up here so you can see all of them. Now, you're supposed to just have to let it dry overnight, and it's 9 p.m., 9:17 Eastern time. So we'll see what this looks like tomorrow, and I'll try to show you what it looks like before I go on and post my code. Hold on one sec. I got to combine these bowls so it doesn't spill on the floor and make a dusty mess. All right, so we've got that, and then don't forget we have this one. Now remember, this one is really a embossing mold or a fondant mold, so I don't know if this one's going to turn out at all. This one right here, okay? But this is made for using sugar veil, and then this is made to make big sheets of cake lace. So tomorrow we'll find out which ones worked, and we'll check all 4 different test ones here. Christmas tree with ball, like, oh yeah. Okay, I can see that. And remember, I did it with a silicone spatula because I didn't want to wash too many things, but the latest video on the Icing Images site says something like this is just a Sugar Bell, more firm plastic scraper. They said this works better because the silicone is so flexible, it kind of digs into the bigger mats, like probably a mat like this, because it's got bigger gaps, whereas something like this is going to come straight across and not have a lot of flexibility. So we will see tomorrow. Okay. Catch up with you guys later. I hope you had fun doing a few mad scientist experiments with me tonight. And if you are interested in the Unplugged Cookie Snack Attack retreat next spring, there is a video up before this video where we went over booking your room for tomorrow. Okay. All right. I'll see you later.